Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you're all having a fantastic week. If you're new here, my name is Brianna and I'm the founder and owner at Dolce Travel Agency. Today, I want to talk to you about how far in advance you should be planning and booking your next trip. Be sure and stay tuned till the end for my number one hack. First, I want to start off with a question. So typically, how far in advance do you currently plan a vacation? There's no judgment here, so just be honest and drop a comment below and let me know how soon do you usually start planning and then booking your next vacation. So the amount of lead time you need to plan and book a trip, of course, depends on a few things. Number one, where are you going? International versus stateside. Do you have a passport? Disney hotels and dining packages fill up quickly. So things like that to think about. Disney dining reservations can be made 180 days out. If you're really wanting a character meal like Cinderella's Royal Table or Be Our Guest, you have to book pretty much that day or you're not going to be getting it. And I know that's heartbreaking for all those little ones you have out there, and you don't want to be the parent that has to tell your kid that you didn't get into that character dining because you didn't reserve soon enough. The second thing you kind of have to think about when determining how far in advance you need to book is how many people are going. Obviously, it's going to take a little longer to plan if you have more people going versus like a couple. The third thing to take into consideration is how long are you going to be gone? Obviously, if you're going to be gone a month, that's going to take a lot more planning versus a week or a few days. So just remember, if you're planning a longer trip, it's going to take a lot longer to plan. The fourth thing you want to take into consideration when you're trying to decide how much time you need to plan a trip is what's going on at your destination during the time you want to go. For example, are there festivals? Is it peak season? Is it the holidays? Let's take Hawaii, for example. We know the whales are there from November to May, and obviously that's a huge draw. In November and December, the whales are still pregnant, so they may not be as active. Later on in the whale season, you get to see more of them jumping and the mothers interact with their babies, and it's truly, truly magical. And then another thing to consider is, whale season is also serving season. So it could be super busy during that time. That's why booking in advance is such an advantage for you. So the fifth thing that you need to consider when thinking about how long you need to plan and book your trip is budget, of course. Well, you need time to save money. That's just the reality of travel. It costs money, and sometimes you need a little bit more time to save for it. So here's a hot tip, and if you watched my last video, you know that if you book with a travel advisor, you can just put a deposit down, and then you can pay in installments as you go up to your final payment date. If you watched my last video, please hit the like button below and let me know. I'll also link that video in the cards up here somewhere. So if you missed it, you can be sure and catch it now. So what's the real answer here? I guess I would say taking all these things into consideration, I generally recommend clients book 9 months to 1 year ahead of their departure date. 6 months is very doable depending where you're going and how many people going, but obviously I'm a planner. I like to have things done, as far in advance as possible, that's realistic. So I want to talk about some of the benefits of booking early, because I know some people are procrastinators and they love to wait till the last minute, and sometimes you can get really good deals, but realistically, if you book early, that is typically going to be the best price. So some benefits of booking early include you get your pick. Likely most hotels and resorts won't be full for the dates you want, and you'll get your choice of a room type. There's nonstop flights that are still available, and it's just a lot easier if you book in advance. The second benefit of booking early is price is better. It just is. That's the way it works. And in some cases, if a promotion comes along later, depending on the vendor, you can often call and have it applied to your existing reservation, or the travel agent can do that on your behalf as well. The third benefit of booking early is you have more time to plan and refine, to curate the perfect trip, as well as learn more about your destination. The more time you have and the more information you know about where you're going ahead of time can make a huge difference in the impact of your trip. And like I said, this doesn't mean that last minute planning doesn't have its perks, but if there's abundant inventory at the last minute, you can often get great deals. You just have to have the flexibility to meet the dates. And most of the time, as with anything, if you don't plan ahead, you can plan to fail. There would be nothing worse than booking and investing in a vacation that wasn't well planned to arrive and find out that all the restaurants are booked, all the excursions and tours are taken, and you're left with really nothing to do, especially if you or someone in your travel group really had their heart set on something specific to that location and there just isn't any availability left. Some trips are once in a lifetime, and you don't want to miss out just because you didn't plan ahead. And as promised in the beginning, my number one hack for planning ahead and booking early is communicate with your travel agent. If you let us know ahead of time when approximately and where you're thinking of going, we can definitely keep an eye out on rates and availability. And if there's any special promotions coming, oftentimes we'll know that ahead of time. So just communicate with us, put a bug in our ear, let us know, hey, next summer we're thinking of doing Disney. What can you keep an eye out for? Sometimes they release free dining. That usually happens in the fall. Not always, and it's usually very, very limited. So just, if you put a bug in our ear, we can definitely have our eyes wide open for you. If you haven't already, head on over to traveldolce.com and keep up with the latest news and exclusive offers by signing up for our newsletter. The screen will pop up when you land on the webpage, so just enter your name and email address and we'll get you signed up for those newsletters. And then if you found this video valuable, you know the drill. Take a screenshot and share it out on your social media and tag me at Travel Dolce. I'd love to share your stories on my story. And if you haven't already, be sure and subscribe and hit that notification bell down below so you get notified every time I upload. Remember, I will be throwing a new video at you every single Thursday, so I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.